Hello my friends, it's Aspen here. I'm out in Norwegian nature today and I just want to do a quick test. I got a question and I still get a lot of questions about the Sony Fdr X3000. A lot of people still use this amazing little camera, but this question is from Andre Hits the Road. He wanted to know if you get that fisheye look using the Action 4. So we're going to compare the Sony Fdr on a quick test today against the Action 4 and see how wide you can go on the Action 4 before you get that fisheye look. And he didn't want a fisheye look because that was really important to him. A wide field of view without the fisheye look. So we're going to compare it in different mode. But one thing that's really important to understand, that in 4K with the highest quality on the Sony Fdr, you can only go as wide as wide. So if you want to choose different other field of view on the Sony Fdr X3000, you have to drop the resolution down to 1080p, but still 1080p looks pretty good from the Sony Fdr. But we're gonna compare in 1080p on the Sony Fdr compared to the Action 4 in 4K. I still recommend the Action 4 for most people because it's such a good action camera, but the Sony Fdr is still relevant for a lot of people. But if you're going to use the Sony Fdr as a vlogging camera, it works really good. But if you want to do other kinds of activities, I highly recommend upgrading. And then I recommend upgrading to the Action 4 because that's the best action camera on the market now. But let's compare it. And I think it's perfect to do that in the woods here, where you get some trees. You can see if there are any bending in the image compared to the Sony Fdr. So let's start the test. Okay guys, this is vlogging style in ultra wide on the Action 4 compared to the Sony Fdr in wide 4K on both cameras. See if you can see any bending on the trees. I bet you can see that, so you get that fisheye look. But just look at the trees and see if you can see any bending or some strange thing. But remember, this is in ultra wide. So it looks a little bit strange. I normally only use standard D-warp or wide. Let's switch to wide and see on the Action 4. This is wide field of view on the Action 4. Can you still see the bending in the trees compared to the Sony Fdr? It's maybe a little bit of bending, but I think this looks pretty good. But Andre Hits the Road, it was really important for him. He didn't want the fisheye look and he wanted the widest field of view. I read someplace that Sony Fdr is supposed to have 170 degrees field of view. I think that's pretty strange. I don't think so. I think that the Action 4 has 155 degrees. And it's going to be fun to see when we edit the footage how wide it actually is. But this is wide. I normally use standard D-warp on the Action 4. I think that's wide enough. I'm holding the camera around 50 centimeters from my face now, That's normal vlogging style. Can you see a lot of bending? See in the corner on the trees. Let's switch to standard D-warp. That's the last thing we're gonna do, and check that out. Okay guys, this is standard D-warp on the Action 4. That's what I'm usually using when I'm filming with this camera, because I think it's pretty wide. The Sony Fdr, the widest it can go is this, especially in 4K. If you use 1080p, you can use narrow or medium or wide. But 4K looks best, in my opinion. You get higher bitrate and better quality. But this is standard D-warp. Can you see any bending on the trees? See in the corner of the image? I don't know. And what I like about the Action 4 is of course the front-facing screen. That's really important for me when you're out vlogging. But this test is for you, Andre. If you want to see something else, please let me know. This was just a quick little test. It's supposed to rain today, so I didn't want to go any place far away, so I only use my backyard. Yeah, standard D-warp. This is what I usually use, but I think you can go as wide on the Action 4 and still don't have too much of the fisheye look. Yeah, quick test. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to subscribe, give me a thumb up if you enjoy videos like this. I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.